Hi everyone, Josephat Bless here from TradewithBolu Online Services, and today I'll be taking you on the normal weekly analysis that we have to have an expectancy over the forex market in the coming week. Alright, so to get started, we'll be beginning with the risk to reward, our risk warning. It says trading leverage products such as forex and derivatives may not be suitable for all investors as they carry high degree of risk to your capital. Please ensure that you fully understand the risk involved, take into account your own investment and all that. So if you just pause this, alright, take some time, go through this and ensure you are totally aware of the risk, alright, before proceeding. Alright, so proceeding into this analysis, the indication that you totally agree to those that disclaimer as shown earlier. So today we'll be beginning with the Dtxy. Alright, so with the Dtxy, just this is the dollar index to know the strength of the dollar as we trade on the market, because basically today we'll be analyzing the GBPJPY, EURUSD, GBPUSD, USD and XAUUSD, also known as the gold. And as you notice, most of our pairs lie within had the US dollar amongst them. All right, either the major pair or the minor pair. So we have that there. Only the GBPJPY that is not pegged to the dollar. So you could see that a lot of things that we're going to be analyzing on are actually pegged to the dollar. So it's important to know the strength of the dollar. All right, in the coming weeks. So as you could see here, the dollar had a pretty nice bearish trend, which we spoke about in our previous analysis, and I'm sure if you took those entries, you have made some pretty nice profit about that. We'll explain further as we go on. So basically, we had a pretty nice downtrend of the dollar. Let's look at the big picture first. We had a nice downtrend of the dollar, seeing that this is a key resistance level. It's a major one, so we want to be conscious about that. So at this particular point, we spoke about how the dollar was going to rise and all that stuff. So that was part of our previous analysis that we did then. So you could see how it respected that trend line as we spoke about earlier. All right, so it came back to retest. Currently, it's currently at the retest, as you could see there. All right, and you can see the wicks going up already. So we're simply expecting a pretty nice retest to this major resistance level. Then either having a nice downtrend from there, that's a breakout, or we simply have a pretty nice upward continuation of the dollar. But so far, I think it's very important to take note of this key resistance level, all right, as it continues to trend, because it might most likely come back, retest the trend line for pushing upward to a nice distance. Because as you could notice right now, the the Dtxy US dollar index is in a channel. I would like to draw on that trend line here, but there's no need for that. You could see that it's a channel, that's a trend line on both sides. All right, so without wasting much time, let's get to the charts and see what we have for today. Okay, so starting with the GBPJPY, all right, which is the British pound against the Japanese yen. All right, so you can see that. By the way, to just get you guys to know, we do have fundamentals for all these analyses that we take, and I would like to just share that with you. Yep, we have the forex factory that lets us know what the calendar is going to be like for the week. So and when you see green, you know that okay. When you see yellow, you know that okay, there's minimum impact of the news. This is a partial impact of the news, and then when you see red, you know that we have maximum impact of the news. All right. So if you do not know how to trade the news, best advice is that you stay out of the market during those times. All right. So you can see on Wednesday by around all day we have we have by 8 a.m. we have USD news coming up. All right, the dollar is pretty much impacted. By 10 a.m. that still continues, and then till Friday, all right, around 8:30 a.m. to like 10 a.m. we still have the dollar being impacted today. So best stay out of the market in those mentioned times. We could see from Monday here all the way to Wednesday, we have a pretty nice running of all the pairs. All right, news there. So for your you could also have their calendars here, economic calendar and all that stuff, but I just prefer using Forex Factory. I'm kind of used to it. So basically, you want to check your fundamentals. This is a good size. All right, forexstreet.com, that's FX Street. All right, you could check your analysis, you could check your news on any pair of your choice. All right, so they give you important news coming up, important news events coming up, and all that stuff. So we're not going to be wasting much time on that today. All right. So getting to the chart, we have the GBPJPY. So what are we expecting this week? We have a previous nice uptrend from the previous months, as you can see, from June all the way to November, March, all the way. So sorry, you could see that from you could see that very recently this is a daily candle, so this really nice very trend that came all the way here. So you could see that there's been a consistent retest on this trend line over time, and at the same time this has been a major support. All right, so you can see the price tested it several times but couldn't break off it, and right now it's currently, it came to test it and still going back to retest the this trend line here. So we still have about 100 pips equivalent, 130 pips, all right, left for it to retest this trend line before really continuing on. But I think this is going to break off this. All right, when the time comes, you'll be noticed, you'll be notified about that. But currently what we're expecting this week is just a simple continuation of this trend. All right, you see a pretty nice bullish trend that started already, so we're expecting this to retest at this trend line, then before we have our bearish momentum from there, and that will be about pretty nice 300 pips. All right, but as for this week, we could expect about 130 p 140 pips, yeah, let's say 150 pips. All right, from the GBPJPY. That's all we're expecting for this week. From there, as you can see, there are already previous rebounds. All right, remember the first market never goes straight, it goes in wavy choppy patterns. All right, and you can see that's going upward as it's trending upward. So that's that for that. Moving on to the EURUSD. All right, so basically for the EURUSD, let me go to a higher time frame. Okay, let's see the daily chart. You could see that this is a major retest, this is a major support region. All right, I didn't want to draw it all the way here, but it's a major support region. All right, you can see that, you can see it testing at these points, at this point, at this point, at this point, all the way within these two regions. You can see that. All right, so that's that for that. So basically what we're expecting this week, we're going to have a pretty nice retest back to this trend line. All right, and most probably a breakout from there. All right, but very surely we should have about 50 pips left, yeah, to this trend line, about 50 pips left. So you're a scalper, you want to really take advantage of all that, you could just wipe in and then find a good entry point according to your strategy, and then benefit from that. All right, so we have a pretty nice retest to this trend line before having the next testing. All right, so remember, this is really strongly it's important that you have the Dtxy analysis, because this is the dollar really affects has a lot of influence on the EURUSD, so it's very important about that. All right, so moving on to the next pair, we have the GBPUSD. What are we expecting from here? You can see a pretty nice resistance or support, sorry, at this price region 1.36065. all right, and over the previous month you can see that nicely retesting this trend line, as you can see here. So pretty nice bearish trend recently, then currently we are in a retracement back to the trend line. All right, and that was about 240 pips. All right, so currently we have about 100 pips, roughly 100 pips left. Go to a lower time frame like a 4 hour or the 1 hour of choice. All right, and make good distance. So currently you can see impulsive retracement and then quite an impulsive. All right, there might be a nice retracement here because I'm seeing a support, a resistance here, which will surely be broken. All right, so you could wait for a nice retracement. All right, then you get in. All right, it's most likely going to form a trend line along this region. Let me just show you this. That. All right, we're expecting a pretty nice trend line. You see that already forming around this region, so you just wait for the retracement to it, and then you could get in for about that's about 120 pips. All right, pretty nice for the week. All right, so that's that for the GBP USD. All right, so second to the last pair we'll be analyzing is the USD card. All right, US dollar against Canadian dollar, and I really like these charts over the time because there is very much smooth uptrend. All right, we have no clean out weeks or whatever. Even going to the daily time frame, you can see it's the same thing. All right, we spoke about this in one of our previous analysis where I think when you came to retest this region, yeah, that we're expecting an uptrend. So please ensure you stick to our weekly analysis. Check them out always. All right, very important, so you don't miss out on big market moves. All right, so you see, came back to retest that exact region, and currently we're in the impulsive that's already, when the uptrend has already started. All right, so currently you can see, all right, impulsive retracement, and all that stuff. So currently we're in the retracement, testing the trend line, and you can see that in this current week, in this coming week, we're expecting a pretty nice uptrend, right, up to this region, about 400 pips. Okay, I don't know, is a channel here, there's a channel here, there's a channel here, somewhere around here, sorry, yeah, there's a channel somewhere around there. Over time you see it form very well, because it's going to be creating higher highs, and then you see higher lows, higher highs. All right, so we're expecting pretty much about 400 pips this coming week. All right, we're expecting about 400 pips this week from this. All right, the pretty nice trends continue up the way there. So going on to the last pair we have for this analysis, you can see is the XAUUSD, which is also known as gold against US dollar. All right, in the previous analysis we spoke about the breakout here, which is about 1,000 pips. We spoke about the breakout that occurred here is about 900 pips. All right, so what do we have from here? So you could see that these are major support. Let me go to a higher time frame so you could see better. All right, so you could see that these are major support region, and this is major resistance level, and over time you see how the gold has tested those levels. All right, these exact levels. Recently even broke off the resistance, all right, but came back to retest, broke off again, came to retest, broke off again, and then tried taking. All right, so basically what do we have right now on the XAUUSD? We basically have an uptrend. All right, so it's not really we're not too sure of the uptrend yet, but as you can see here, we basically have an uptrend, but it's not just so so evident yet. All right, let me go to 4 hour. Okay, so from here you could see that this is our major resistance, which is price broke, came to retest. All right, so currently you can see the chart is forming it's gradually forming an uptrend in channel form. All right, so you can see all the higher highs and then higher lows, all right, consistently coming up, and you know, we have a nice trend line here. All right, and remember, this was our previous resistance. All right, so currently the over time, as the chart broke off, where it marked out a resistance zone here and another one here. So these are the key levels I want to take note of this week. All right, and most likely the XAUUSD is very, very volatile, as you know. So we are expecting pretty nice momentum this week. All right, so currently the charts, the XAU bounced on the trend. All right, going back to retest this resistance. All right, so it might take a while. All right, it might come back to the test on the trend line again before breaking off to this other major resistance. Then we take it from there. All right, so basically this week we're expecting a pretty nice retest here to this resistance zone. The impossible to continue, so this resistance zone. Then we have a retest at the trend line. Then we could get in and through to this next, which is about 1,000 pips as well. Right, so we have minimum 1,000 pips coming up this week. So guys, do not miss that. We'll be taking up on the other pairs, as you see there. So TradewithBolu here, and we would like to wish you a very awesome week and have the best from your financial markets. Thank you.